I waited until I was like through it.
Done.
So now it's like a different chapter for me.
Kelly Clarkson has given us a surprising update.
Just honestly, I wouldn't be crying in all of them, you know, because it's very intense going through that kind of loss.
It's been a few years now since she got divorced, but so far we haven't seen her actually start dating again. Is she planning to change that soon? And what else has she said about her romantic life? Kelly has been on the music scene for over 20 years now. She won the first season of American Idol and became a global superstar. And ever since then, there have been questions about her romantic life. We were there when she got married to Brandon Blackstock, but obviously, he's now her ex-husband. They were together for 7 years and even had 2 kids, and a lot of people really thought that the 2 of them were going to last. But then, out of nowhere, their relationship just imploded. And just like that, it was over. But now it's been a couple of years since their split, and Kelly has started talking about dating again. Although it wasn't necessarily her choice to start talking about it. She went on the Howard Stern show back in the summer. And what happened was that Howard started asking her which famous celebrity she was going to date next. He asked about Pete Davidson, who we know has been notorious for his dating habits. He just always seems to have a new girlfriend, and every time it's someone extremely famous and established. So Howard was asking Kelly if she was maybe going to be next in line to date Pete Davidson. And then he also brought up Tom Brady. Tom has been very publicly going through a divorce, just like Kelly. So surely he would be the perfect candidate to be her next romantic partner. At least, that's what Howard seems to think. But Kelly actually said that she wasn't planning to date either of these people. But then she explained that it wasn't necessarily because she didn't want to date the 2 of them specifically. She actually revealed that she's not looking to date anyone right now. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's obvious that the divorce has been a lot for her. We've seen her go through it right in front of our eyes for the past 3 years. And I imagine that she hasn't even shown the worst parts of it in public or talked about them at all. But even then, it's been obvious that the divorce was just a lot to deal with for Kelly. She and Brandon announced the split back in 2020, and the divorce got finalized in 2022. So for the first 2 years, she had to go through all of the negotiations and court hearings and everything that comes with the divorce, all while she hadn't even fully come to terms with what had happened to her relationship. And it's only been slightly over a year since her marriage has been truly over. Kelly has barely had time to breathe and relax. She hasn't had time to actually live the single life properly and enjoy her own company for a little. So it makes perfect sense that she just doesn't want to start dating again yet. She actually said one interesting thing about her own company, and it's also part of the reason why she isn't going to date anytime soon, most likely. She said that in the relationship, she had lost a part of herself. And it wasn't just this relationship either. Kelly implied that whenever she dated someone in the past, she had been changing for them and leaving parts of herself behind. And I mean, we all know that's a thing you're not supposed to do for a partner like that. But it's one thing being told not to change yourself, and another thing completely to actually be in the relationship as your most authentic self. Because obviously you also need to work with the other person and compromise and everything. Meanwhile, you're also in love with them, so it's easy to want to do things for them. And before you know it, you're acting a little differently. And from there, this new behavior becomes what you always do. And before you know it, you've lost a part of yourself that's going to be hard to bring back. But Kelly says she's done with it, now that her divorce is over. She actually said that this one part of her has been absent for a while, and it's great to have her back. For now, Kelly's just enjoying that feeling of finding herself again, and dating someone new would definitely mean she couldn't really do that. It would be a whole new relationship, and that newfound part of Kelly might easily go back into hiding. It's not surprising at all that Kelly doesn't want that, and that's actually just one of the reasons why she's not looking for a relationship right now. Because, as I already mentioned before, she actually has 2 young kids from her marriage to Brandon. And neither of them is even 10 years old yet. They're 9 and 7. And they're already definitely going through a difficult time because their parents got divorced. That's always difficult to deal with as a kid, and especially for kids who are this young. But interestingly enough, Kelly actually said they were a big reason why she wanted to get a divorce in the first place. Because her and Brandon's relationship really wasn't working out, and she just didn't want their kids to think that this is what love looks like. She wanted them to have higher standards for romantic relationships. She just really didn't want them to fall into toxic situations when they're grown up because they think that's just the way things are. So getting a divorce was really the only option. But she's also very aware that the divorce has been a lot for the 2 of them, and bringing a new partner into the equation would make everything even more difficult for them. They already have to deal with their parents living separately and not being together anymore. And getting used to a new adult in their lives, a new partner that their mom brought home, would just definitely not be the best. That's pretty much always the case whenever parents of young kids get divorced. But it would be even more difficult for Kelly because she's a public figure. And there's a good chance that any new relationship of hers would immediately get leaked. If she was going to find someone new, it would probably be a good idea to wait a while before introducing her new partner to the kids. But if she did that and the relationship did leak to the media, her kids would probably find out about it before she would be ready to tell them. And more importantly, they would find out their mom is dating again from some paparazzi report as opposed to from Kelly herself. That would just be a nightmare of a situation, honestly. So it's obvious that Kelly has a bunch of good reasons not to start dating again, at least not yet. But she actually said she's not completely opposed to the idea of falling in love. Again, she loves love, and she would love to experience it again. So she's not actually fully closed off. And if she were to meet someone, not on purpose, just by accident, and sparks were to fly, she implied that she would go for a new relationship even now. But she's not actively looking for anyone new by any means. But this is only one of the moments in her career that Kelly has spoken out about relationships. A long time ago, before she even got together with Brandon, she actually got asked about her dating life, maybe even more than she does now. Because she didn't actually date much before getting married, she used to say that she just wanted quality over quantity in her relationships. To her, if it wasn't going to be a good, serious relationship, there wasn't even any point in trying. And that's exactly what she found in Brandon. And during their marriage, it looked like they were doing great, especially at the beginning. One interesting thing that Kelly said about their relationship is that she didn't think of Brandon as her other half. She said that in their marriage, each of them was a whole. They were each number one and getting treated as such. But obviously, even that mindset wasn't able to make their marriage last. And even though Kelly isn't ready for anyone new yet, I can't wait to see what's in store for her in the future. But anyway, what do you guys think? Who would you like to see Kelly date next? Let me know in the comments.